Hello everybody, don't call me Ryan, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever mod review, in which I'm going to be reviewing the Minecraft Too Much TNT mod for version 1.8. Now, in this mod there is quite a lot of TNTs and dynamites, which are pretty much throwables, that have been added, from houses to meteors to just Easter eggs, and all the way over here are kind of the huge giant explosions and effects that can be added. Shut up. And because all these will cost so much gunpowder to make, there is a new ore, well, two new ores that drop gunpowder, which is the sulfur ore. And when mined, it'll drop you 5 gunpowder, pretty much enough to make 1 TNT. This does not work with fortune, so no matter what, you will always get 5, so I wouldn't waste trying to get fortune to get more sulfur, if you know what I mean. So this is the TNT times 5, and it takes 4 TNT to make a TNT times 5, which will be about 20 gunpowder to make one of these. And over here is the TNT times 20. I'm going to be saying TNT a whole lot. I'm so sorry for advanced. This is the TNT times 20. It takes 4 TNT times 5, so about 80 gunpowder to make this. Over here is the TNT times 100, and it takes 4 TNT times 20s, which would be about 320 gunpowder. And these explosions get way bigger, up to TNT times 500, which is 4 TNT times 100s, which is about 180. But this is the TNT times 500. And once you get all the way down to here to the, oh, I forgot to put in here, but this is the meteorite TNT. I can just pick it up and show you. Yeah, meteor TNT, which takes 7 obsidian, a bucket of lava, and a TNT times 500. And what this pretty much does is it has a giant meteor, comes down to the ground, makes a ginormous crater that probably could wipe out pretty much anything. Right here is the flat bomb, or the flat TNT, which pretty much levels out any surface area. So if you want to build a house somewhere and there's not much space because it's so hilly, this is probably what you would want. To make that, it's a TNT times 20 and an obsidian. Pretty simple, flattens out your world. And another version of it is the mining flat TNT, which if you're in a mine and it's pretty crowded and you want to kind of open up and find more ores, you can use this. To make it, you need 6 torches, a flat TNT, and 2 TNT times 5s. And you get up to mining flat TNT. Over here is the compact TNT, which takes 8 normal TNT and a TNT times 5. And when you light this on fire, it'll spawn a bunch of TNTs around, like normal TNTs, that'll all explode, making a big hole in the ground. Right here is the house TNT, so if you're in a pickle and need a quick house, just craft this, which is 5 cobblestone, 2 glass, and TNT times 5, and a crafting table, and that'll spawn a nice little house for you. Over here is a wooden house, so if you want a wooden house, you can make, you need 6 wood, any type of wood, 2 gold ingots, and a house TNT. Another quick note for these is these TNTs are all different in the sense of what's inside. Shut up! For this instance, this only comes with a crafting table. I think this only comes with like a furnace, I think. And this comes with a chest, furnace, and crafting table all at once. So, house TNT, and then you have the brick house, which is 2 diamonds, a house TNT, 6 bricks to get a brick house. Okay, now we're getting into some elemental stuff. Right here is the fire TNT, which takes TNT times 5 and a flint and steel, and it just spawns a bunch of fire everywhere. Go figure. Right here is the snow TNT, which, I mean, you could probably take a wild guess what this does. It takes a TNT times 5 and a snow block to make snow, and it just makes snow everywhere. Right here is the ocean TNT, and this takes a TNT times 100 and 4 water buckets, and it spawns a bunch of water everywhere, I mean a lot of water, and some squids, because it wouldn't be an ocean without squids. Right here is the Hellfire TNT, which takes 2 gas tiers, Fire TNT, and 2 TNT times 20s, which, what this one does is it spawns a bunch of lava, netherrack, fire, and some ghast, believe it or not, and it pretty much just brings the netherworld to you. So that's the first row. Pretty simple stuff over here, and we're getting on to the next one. These have quite unique traits to what they do. So the vaporized TNT right here is a TNT that takes 4 buckets and a TNT times 20 and a vaporized TNT. You're wondering where I got this sword. I finally killed that stupid donkey. But essentially what this TNT does is if there's any lava or water and you just want to get rid of it, this will vaporize it all up for you. Right here is the Ender TNT, which takes a TNT and an Ender Pearl, so pretty much a very simple crafting recipe, but what it does is it will launch you or anything really far away, like kind of like our big repulsor in a sense. The next one is, it looks a little scary, but this is the nuclear TNT, which takes 4 glowstone, a gold block, and 4 TNT times 20s. And what this does is it'll blow up really big, and it'll actually spread stuff over here called nuclear waste. And also, when you touch it, you get poisoned. These two are kind of neat in a sense. This is the digging TNT, which takes 2 TNT times 5s and a water bucket, and it pretty much digs about, I'd say, 20 blocks down, which can be helpful if you want to like go down pretty quickly. And it does place like a bucket of lava. I was gonna say bucket of lava, bucket of water down at the bottom to make it more convenient, so you don't have to like dig all the way down, because that defeats the whole purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? Next is the bigger scale, which is the drilling TNT, which takes a digging TNT and a TNT times 100, and it'll dig all the way down to bedrock, put water down, and for some reason squids too, because, well, you can't get enough squids, am I right? Next is the ghost TNT, which is a TNT times 20 and a milk bucket. And essentially what this does is it'll blind you and give you some buffs for like 30 seconds, but essentially it'll just be all spooky. This one is the multiply TNT, which takes 4 bone meal, a TNT times 5, and 4 gold ingots. So, I completely forgot about that one, darn it. So pretty much what this one does is, whenever you blow something up, it'll pretty much duplicate whatever you just blew up. This is the cubic TNT. Oh, I accidentally put the wrong ones in there. There you go. This is the cubic TNT, and pretty much what this one does is it just makes a little 3x3 hole in the ground, and it just takes 8 cobblestone, a TNT times 5. And this one isn't really that special and cool on its own, but it's there if you need it. This is the eruption TNT, which takes a compact TNT and a fire charge, and what this one does is, just like a volcano, it shoots a bunch of TNT into the sky and rains back down, making a bunch of explosions and fire. This is I think it's the reacting TNT. I forgot to put in there too. Chemical TNT, and pretty much what this one does is it kind of just digs itself down. It's kind of like the drilling TNT right here, except it looks a little cooler in a sense. I can't judge. It is a TNT that's neat. This one is the floating TNT, which takes a TNT times 20 and a feather. And what this one does is it floats up into the air and blows up. And you may think just because it's in the sky it would not do much, but it does have a pretty big hole in the ground. This is the, I think it's ice freeze TNT, which takes a snowball and a bucket of water and TNT times 20, and it just freezes everything, turning everything to ice. It's pretty self-explanatory. This one is the timer TNT. It's kind of unique in a way. Like, it has the explosion power of like a TNT times 5, but what it does is it'll flash colors. Like, it'll go from green to, I think, yellow and then to red, and pretty much symbolizes how much time is left on it. This one is the reaction TNT, which is a chemical TNT and a compact TNT. And what this does is, just like the reacting TNT, it will, the chemical TNT, there's so many to say. What it'll do is it'll spread a bunch of chemical TNTs outwards, and they'll all dig down to, well, wherever they'll stop exploding to, which is about maybe like 20 blocks around that, give or take. This is the animal TNT, and it takes a raw pork chop, a raw chicken, rotten flesh, and some raw beef, and this will just spawn about one of every mob, I think, or it spawns a lot of mobs, but not all of them are hostile, not all of them are passive. Here's the uranium ore I was talking about, and this is what you would use to craft those big bombs over there, and this will spawn pretty casually in your world, and unlike it does not work with fortune either. You can tell this is a fortune 3 pick, doesn't work. Continuing on, we have the sand firework. It's pretty stupid in my opinion. It takes 7 sand, a firework star, and a TNT times 5, and it launches up into the sky and just blows sand everywhere. It's pretty stupid, honestly. This is the floating island TNT, which takes 2 multiply and a floating TNT, and it'll just make a big floating island in the sky for you. If you want to start like a little mini skyblock session, you can. It's a decently big plot of land. I'd say it's about the size of this whole set, so pretty decently big. This is the gravity TNT, which takes an ender TNT and an apple for some reason. And what that does is it'll suck anything that's close into it, and it'll blow everything away, just like the ender TNT. This is the meteor shower TNT, which takes 4 compact and an erupting TNT, and essentially, in its name, it'll launch down a bunch of TNT in a huge radius around you, and they'll all just become raining from the sky. And I'd say it lasts for about maybe a minute or so. This is the spiral TNT, which takes an eruption and floating TNT, and it's essentially kind of like the erupting TNT, except instead of shooting the TNT up, it shoots them kind of in a spiral, hence the name spiral TNT. This is the Grove TNT, and it takes 3 any saplings, 2 bone meal, 3 dirt, a TNT times 5, and it'll just spawn a bunch of trees around you that are pretty small, about 4 or 5 blocks tall, and it has about every current version of tree, so kind of neat. Now this one's just weird. This is the inverted TNT, which takes 4 multiply and a TNT times 100, and instead of blowing a huge hole in the ground, it kind of like does the opposite, where it makes a bunch of things appear on top of you. When I tested this before, I suffocated to death because I didn't know what it did, and I think that's kind of funny. This is the Sphere TNT, which takes 4 cobblestone and a TNT times 100, and it just makes a spherical hole in the ground about the size of a TNT times 20. This is the Arrow TNT. Pretty simple, just 8 arrows and a TNT times 5, and it just shoots arrows everywhere, like kind of like a dispenser contraption you'd probably make. Right here is the Lightning TNT, which takes a compact TNT and a blaze rod, and it just rains down a bunch of lightning everywhere. Now this one's kind of cool. I'd say if you need like any sort of farming materials or stuff, which it's called the Easter egg TNT. I don't know why, because it spawns a bunch of pumpkins and melons everywhere. I had those backwards, but we have 2 TNT times 20s and 3 bone meal. And what this will do is it'll pretty much just explode everywhere, spawning a bunch of pumpkins and melons, kind of morphing the world. And it has like a little logo or something when you light it. And yeah, that's about all it does. It just spawns pumpkins and melons. Okay, now we're gonna go pretty quickly with these dynamite because it's just a mini version of pretty much almost all the TNT we had. Normal dynamite, normal TNT, TNT times 5 dynamite, TNT times 20 dynamite. All these are about the same. It's just taking the TNT you just crafted and just putting it into your crafting interface. So TNT times 100 gives you 4 dynamite, 500 with 4 dynamite, meteor, flat TNT, etc., etc. There are some exceptions, however. If I can find it. Here, the drilling TNT only gives 2. Some of these only do give 2, like the ghost dynamite, cubic's the same, erupting's the same. Chemical gives 2, floating, freezing. Okay, right here, this is the, I'm gonna just show it. This is the timer dynamite, and it doesn't have a crafting recipe, but it's pretty much would work the same as the normal TNT over there. I don't think it flashes just like the timer TNT, that's a tongue twister, but I'm assuming it would do the same thing. Actually, I think it does, because of the fuse. Okay, for some reason the reaction dynamite and the floating island dynamite, they take the timer TNT, but for some reason you can't, oh, and the animal as well, but you can only get this version, the reaction dynamite, so apparently I guess these two just don't work right now. This is the diamond firework. The spiral gives 3 for some reason, which, I mean, I guess it's kind of interesting. Here's the Grove, TNT, Sphere, Arrow, I think. Okay, so that's about all of the like normal TNTs and dynamites. Let's go over here to the big stuff. Now we're talking some big stuff. So right here is the mountaintop remover, which takes a flat TNT and uranium. Just for reference, all these TNTs take uranium over there. So it would pretty much be making a normal bomb over there, like let's say like the house TNT right here, and supersizing it. But there's only about 11 variants. Right here is the Mankind's Mark, which takes a uranium and a house TNT, and it'll build a giant house for you. So really, again, if you have uranium and a house TNT, just slap one of these down, you get a huge house for yourself. Get a good start in your world. This is Poseidon's Wave, which takes an ocean TNT and uranium, which spawns a ton of water everywhere, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And it also does squids, just keep in mind. Right here is Hell's Gate, which takes a Hell's Fire and a uranium, and it's essentially, for some reason, it's the island TNT over there, or the floating island TNT, mixed with the Hell's Fire, and it pretty much will spawn a... Shut up, sheep. It'll spawn an island in the sky full of lava, glowstone, soul sand, some gas too, and a nether portal. So this is a pretty convenient TNT, but I'm sure you probably already have. You'd probably already have a nether portal. Right here is the Dust Bowl, which is a vaporized TNT and uranium, which pretty much will make a very dry area. It'll dry out everything around you in a huge radius. Right here is the Hexahedron TNT, which takes cubic TNT and uranium, which makes a big chunk in the ground. Like, instead of a 3x3 hole, it'll make like, I don't know, maybe like a 20x20 hole, like 20x20x20. So it makes the cubic TNT more useful. Right here is Pompeii, which takes an erupting TNT and uranium, and this will rain down a bunch of lava from the sky in the form of TNT. This is Heaven's Gate. So this is the floating island TNT and uranium variant, which pretty much will take a huge chunk, like maybe from, like, let's say that tree over here to like that tree of an island. So really big island if you'd want. Another fun fact is, unlike this TNT, that one does not take the ground below you. So this one does. I don't know what the point of it is. I don't know. Here is the Revolution TNT, which takes a spiral TNT and uranium, and what this will do is it'll spin around and pretty much launch tons of TNT everywhere, pretty much destroying all the world that you had. So say goodbye to it with the Revolution. This is the Global Disaster TNT, which takes uranium sphere TNT, and this makes a even bigger sphere in the ground, which I find kind of funny. And the last one that we have on here that actually has an animation, which I think is kind of cool. This is the Chicxulub TNT, which is uranium and meteor TNT. And this just has an even bigger meteor that hits the ground. But yeah, this one will probably end your world the most. Alright guys, that's about all there is to show for this mod. I hope you all enjoyed. This is kind of a new form of content that I'm going to be trying to make. I don't know how well it'll go, but if there's anything that you can suggest I improve on, let me know in the comments below. And I plan to do more mod reviews later in the future, but if there's any mod that you want me to cover in specific, let me know, and I'll look into it. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe, and if you liked the video, leave a like on it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.